Hello everyone. Today is an important day. It is not an important day because the flag of the Navy has been changed. Obviously, it's a very crucial decision, very important, strategically important decision. It is also not important because we have recently launched indigenously built aircraft carrier. Yes, it is a great achievement, but when seen together, it sends out a very loud, very clear message that India knows her rightful claims over Indian Ocean. It tells the world that we know that what capabilities we hold and what more we can do, what more we can achieve. Let's try understand this important topic in its historical understanding, in its present implications and the implications for the future. Let's try understand this topic in most holistic and the widest possible manner. So friends, this is how the new flag of Indian Navy is going to now look like. We need to know how this flag evolved over the time. And this tells that where India stands today, this is complete decolonization. We have moved much ahead of where we had been left 75 years ago. And what beautiful the way to express this kind of a message along with the idea of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Now that we know that we are indigenously capable enough to take any and every stride possible, why to retain anything that reminds us of that sordid era of colonial history? We need to move ahead, we need to showcase the strength, the capability and the historical civilizational importance of our own dear India, that is Bharata. Now let's try understand this new aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, something that makes India feel proud of its own achievement, making us among those very few nations that stand independent when it comes to their security, their national interest. Dependence on others is something that is going to be a story of the past. This is what make India stand like. This is what is the vision of the government of India. This is what the dream of the people of India. This is how we are going to achieve all these things. It reminds me of that popular Hindi movie, that movie in which they told us, ये नया भारत है, ये घर में घुस के मारेगा. How's the Josh? Hi sir. Now this is the India that we had been looking at in the real life, and now here we are under the dynamic leadership of our worthy Prime Minister and the regime that is making India stand tall, making India stand strong. This is the regime that is sending a clear message that India is changing, India is transforming, India is becoming self-reliant, not just for internal needs but for its external as well as security needs. This is a very clear message. Now that we are indigenous, let's try understand that historically what times India had been showcasing its naval strength. Before we know the idea of this naval strength, let me tell you one more thing. Sitting in the Indian Ocean, India is always and always very crucial for the global trade. India has always been very crucial for the interconnectivity of the world. Now knowing this, in the ancient times, the Cholas who ruled in South India, they made up their mind that without having a strong navy, they cannot claim what they deserve. So the Cholas created a tremendous, most powerful navy. Even the Bay of Bengal became the Chola Lake for a while. Their presence in the region not only created the trade links between the East and the West, the trade through which they created an opulence for them, which is reflected in the architecture, the rich heritage of India in South India. They were the ones who for the first time created an extended empire based from India, an extended empire going up to Indonesia as well as the islands like Maldives. Now they were the people who controlled the trade routes and made sure that India's significance, India's importance in the region and beyond is recognized. The Cholas for a very long time under the dynamic leadership of Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola created a supreme naval presence in the Indian Ocean, and their presence meant an expansion and consolidation of the empire as well as recognition of the authority and power of India. Then, after the Cholas, the credit for this goes to Chhatrapati Shivaji, the supreme Maratha leader, the one who told us that when you think about Swaraj, what it means, and along with his political ambitions, he also understood that the political power depends on your military might. The military might needs the economic might, and to be a economic giant, you need to control the oceans, you need to control the seas, and thus he also created a very formidable navy, and that is why his vision has been adopted in the new flag that has been adopted for the Indian Navy by the new regime. Shivaji's idea of creating a strong empire based on the naval might was at a time when already in the Indian Ocean the European players like the Portuguese, the Dutch, the British and others were making their stories. They were already there. The presence of these European companies, the presence of these European naval forces, which was left unread by the Mughal Empire, who could not focus on developing their navy, which ultimately became one of the most significant reasons for their decline, made Shivaji understand and stand up with the idea that Marathas will create one of the most formidable navy. Basis this formidable navy, the Marathas witnessed a great development of their empire. But unfortunately, when the great admiral Kanoji Angre, he died, and the Marathas got involved in the internal warfare, that weakening of the Maratha confederacy after the exit of the great Chhatrapati, and then the weakening of the Maratha power, paving the way for interference of British and taking over the Maratha Empire. The Indian naval story came to a halt. After independence, obviously throughout the British regime, throughout the rule of the British in India, the Indian Navy was the British Indian Navy, the Royal Indian Navy. But what crucial this navy was for the British, what we need to know about this is that through and through the British were so very confident that they can continue to rule over India. But when finally the Royal Indian Navy in 1946 started its mutiny, the Rhine mutiny, the British have to make up their mind that the time has come to leave India. Navy was so crucial even at that point of time. Now that we were independent, we need to have indigenous navy, indigenous development of the infrastructure as well as the logistics. The process started, but it was not at the pace at which it should have been. Understandable, the fact is that yes, we lacked resources, we were not capable enough because of the 200 years of colonial exploitation, but the commitment that was required was somewhere a little compromised. But now that India has understood and India has made up its mind that to protect the global interest, the Indian interest in the Indian waters, the Indian interest in the neighborhood as well as the extended neighborhood, we have decided to make the Indian Navy once again the most formidable navy. The present challenges that we need to keep in mind are the facts like the string of pearl theory that basically is to encircle India, the most dear policy of our most dear neighbor China. This is how they have encircled India from all the sides, and now is the time for India to reply, the necklace of diamonds by India. For both the things, to make India feel confident that yes, we can tackle the situation successfully and we can also checkmate China, we need to focus more on our navy, and this is exactly what we are doing today. So historically, India had been a great power when it comes to navy during the times of Cholas and Marathas, and then during the time of British rule over India, obviously our naval interests were basically serving the interest of the colonial master Britain. But after independence, we always knew it, we always wanted it. Somehow we had to make a compromise because there was lack of resources, perhaps to some extent there was lack of commitment. But now that we have the resources, we have the commitment, we have the political will, India is going to stand tall. India is going to reclaim its position in the Indian Ocean, and we are not going to let anyone subvert India's national or global interest. Keeping all this in mind, I'm going to share this PPT and the notes in our Telegram group. Those who want can go and download it from the Telegram group, and we ensure you whatever important will happen, Team Raj IAS will always be there to give you the information in the most crisp and the most significant manner. Best of luck. Jai Hind.